Good morning, friends. Oh, Palestine, West Asia burning. Here is an attempt to study the Israel-Palestine conflict. Palestine and its neighborhood. The westernmost end of Asia is West Asia. Some call it the Middle East. The West Asian countries are Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Palestine, Israel, Syria, and Turkey. Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Egypt are neighbors. Golan Heights, Israel, West Bank, and Gaza Strip constitute the area known as Palestine from ancient times. The State of Palestine. The State of Palestine, under the Palestinian National Authority, consisting of West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, covering an area of 6,020 square kilometers, was declared an independent state on 15 November 1988 by Palestinian National Council. State of Palestine is a non-member observer state of United Nations. 134 nations, including India, have recognized Palestine as a sovereign state. The State of Israel, founded on 14th of May 1948, UN recognition was granted on 11th of May 1949. India recognized Israel on September 17, 1950. India and Israel established full diplomatic relationship by 1992. Population. Israel 97.3 lakhs, 73.5% Jews, 21% Arabs. Palestine, West Bank 30 lakhs, Gaza Strip 20 lakhs, total 50 lakhs. Israel total population is 97.3 lakhs and Palestine total population is 50 lakhs. Origin of people of Israel. Abraham BC 2167 to 1991. Moses BC 1526 to 1406. The people of Israel occupied Palestine around BC 1406. The Canaanites, Moabites, Amorites, Philistines, and so on, many tribes and kingdoms were defeated by Israelites. Many were killed in battle, the rest survived, and they lived in the same place. History of Israel based on the Bible. Israel was ruled by judges and kings. The kingdoms were divided. The rulers were sometimes strong, sometimes weak. Assyrians conquered Israel in 723. Jerusalem temple was destroyed by 586 BC. The Israelites were taken to Babylon as captives between 587 and 538 BC. King Cyrus allowed Israelites to come back to Jerusalem. They started rebuilding the temple in 536 BC. Alexander the Great conquered Palestine in 333 BC. Rome conquers Palestine in 63 BC. Herod the Great was the king of Judea between 37 and 4 BC. The Great Jewish Revolt, 66 to 74 AD. In 66 AD, Jewish resistance groups against the foreign rule of the Romans revolted and captured power in Judea. So by 70 AD, under the Roman commander Titus, Jerusalem was encircled by the Roman forces, and a 4-month siege deprived the people of water and food. The Romans entered the city and then plundered and killed the people and made people captives also. They destroyed the temple. There were no Jews left behind in Jerusalem. All were deported. Bar Kokhba revolt, 132 to 136 AD. After the defeat in 70 AD, the Jewish resistance against the Romans erupted as Bar Kokhba revolt in 132. Simon Bar Kokhba was killed in 135 AD, and the Jews in Judea were killed or sold as slaves, and the Jews were not allowed to enter Jerusalem. They all were chased away from Judea and the Jewish areas. Byzantine rule over Palestine, 4th century onwards. Edict of Milan, then conversion of Emperor Constantine, and Queen Helena's visit to the Holy Land, and the rise of Constantinople as a new city, and so on, brought the entire area and the Palestine and the surrounding places under the Byzantine rule. Christianity flourished in this Byzantine period under the Byzantine emperors. Islamic conquest of Palestine area. By 7th century, Byzantine Empire became weak, and the Persians captured Jerusalem and ruled over it for some time. Then Islamic State started expanding. Forces led by Caliph Umar entered Jerusalem, and without any bloodshed he conquered Jerusalem. 8th to 16th century. The Islamic rule over Palestine continued for about 8 centuries. Major part of the population became Muslim. Others included Christians and Jews. Islamic culture, lifestyle, architecture, etc. spread all over the area. In 1453, Constantinople was taken by Ottoman Emperor. The city was renamed Istanbul, and Hagia Sophia, the cathedral, was converted into a mosque. Palestine came under the Ottoman Empire. The British Mandate, 1920-1948. During the First World War, the Ottoman forces were defeated in West Asia by the British. So Palestine came under the British Mandate by 1920. At the beginning of the First World War, majority of the people were Muslims of local or Arab origin. There were Jews and Christians among others. For 1794 years, almost 18 centuries, the area belonged to the Palestinians. That is between 126 and 1920. Jewish immigration to Palestine. Under the British Mandate, that is from 1920 onwards, the Jews who were scattered all over the world started coming back to their homeland, from where they were expelled by the Romans. They brought land and houses and started staying among the Palestinians, and they were occupying the towns and cities. A major Arab revolt erupted against the Jewish immigration to Palestinian region. The British suppressed the revolt by force and causing violence and bloodshed. World War II and the Holocaust. The plight of the refugees fleeing from Nazi killing and persecution of the Jews by Nazis brought sympathy on the Jews. Migration to Palestine and the Zionist cause was accepted by Britain and other powers. Tension was increasing between Palestinians and the Jews, especially in Palestine. 1947 UN Partition Plan. Towards the end of the Second World War, the Jews all over the world were dreaming of their fatherland, Israel. Palestinians did not want to part with their fatherland, Palestine. Same place, two names. UN proposed a partition of Palestine between the Jews and the Palestinians, with Jerusalem as an international city governed by the UN. UN Partition Plan 1947 was rejected. The Jewish leaders accepted the plan. Arab leaders, mostly from neighboring states, rejected the plan. The real stakeholders, the Palestinians, did not have a voice. They did not have any leadership. Israel born. On 15th of May 1948, the British mandate would end. On 14th of May 1948, David Ben-Gurion, Jewish leader, declared that the state of Israel is established. Nakba, catastrophe for Palestinians. Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Egypt, together with the Palestinians, fought against a non-existent Israel and accepted defeat. Thousands of Palestinians lost their homes, lives, property, and the Palestinians termed it Nakba, total catastrophe. In 1948 war, Israel retained what was promised to them in the UN plan, and more than 60% of the land promised to the Palestinians. The Palestinians were scattered all over the Arab world, living in slums and shanties. They were called the dirty Palestinian refugees, even by their Arab brothers. They were denied right to life and the right to possess their ancestral property and have a home. They were expelled from their own place. The Six-Day War of 1967. From 5th to 10th June 1967, Israel fought against a coalition of Arab states, Jordan, Syria, Egypt. The coalition was defeated and Israel expanded. More land was occupied by Israel. UN declared Israel as illegal occupant of territories, but Israel did not give in. Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO. The unorganized Palestinian refugees were organized into a purposeful group by PLO. They did not have tanks, armored vehicles, fighter planes, machine guns to fight for the cause of their fatherland, Palestine. The Palestinian boys fought with slings and stones against Israeli soldiers with machine guns. They did not have bombs, so they exploded their own bodies as suicide bombs. PLO was considered a terrorist organization in the beginning. Yasser Arafat, a leader wedded to his cause. Yasser Arafat, founder president 1959 to 2004 of Fatah Party, was also chairman of PLO. In 1993, Arafat led PLO to a peace agreement with Israel. He was the first president of the Palestinian Authority, 1996 to 2004. Palestinian refugees. The UN recognized the need for two states, Israel and Palestine. The proposal was rejected. 1948 war pushed the whole Palestinians to the status of refugees. The UN, Israel, the Arab countries, and the leading nations had a responsibility to rehabilitate them. Partition, annexing of Tibet by China, Bangladesh war, etc., brought millions of refugees to India. They were all absorbed here. Gaza, a question mark on humanity. 20 lakh people in an open prison called Gaza Strip, surrounded by walls and barbed wires. To go out of or to come in, they need a permission. Hamas founded in 1987. They captured political power in Gaza by 2006 elections. Blockade of Gaza by Israel became stricter. Between 2008 and 2023, 5,360 people were killed by Israeli attacks. The satanic Hamas terrorists killed with brutality. Can we expect anything different from them? The present conflict. It is to be resolved by gradually finding a solution to the Palestinian cause by the UN, Israel, and Arab nations. Any injustice done to any of the stakeholders should be corrected. The President of the State of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas, and the PM of Israel, Mr. Netanyahu, together should solve the hostages crisis at the earliest. Both together can bring to justice the Hamas terrorists. Justice and humanity. Does justice mean making the body counts of innocents on both sides equal or more? Killing innocents, destroying the buildings, depriving people of food, water, energy, medicine, etc. would bring peace, shall we think? Lasting peace in the region requires addressing issues of justice. Let us pray to the Almighty that human love, brotherhood, and humanity may survive. This was an attempt to study the Israel-Palestine conflict. Thank you for listening. Augustine Kimatam CMI.